referred to us by the MSWD in Taffy.
Yeah.
And they asked us if we would go and see the house and rehouse that family. Well, it didn't actually work out with the church and Edgar, though Edgar is going to donate some materials, but it's not the sort of straight split that we were hoping. We were hoping for an ideal situation where Ambercorn Hardware would provide the materials and we would get the job done with our Superman team. That didn't work out. We won't let that deter us. It's just one disappointment of many. What are they looking at? They've seen something. Pogie up there and Red up there. Look, you just see his head. So it's on to the next challenge. And we're almost back home now. That's Tiger. Tiger's one of the smallest dogs, and he's not very brave. Well, he's very brave when he thinks that all of the dogs are behind him and he's barking at perhaps a carabao or something like that. But actually, he soon collapses if he realizes that everybody's gone home and left him there. But we call him Tiger. And look at this now. This is the Gemmelina tree, and what I'm hoping is that no one will take down that part, and then by cutting as needed. Look at that woman. She just puts her slippers down on the road and sits down with the dog. But I'm hoping that we will have a natural archway. Wouldn't that be nice? So that means that this will have to be encouraged to take root, and I don't think it's something that it does. It's just sort of hanging here. It's never going to do that. So we're going to have to give it some help. Maybe put some stakes in there and tie it. See, otherwise what's going to happen is some other unromantic type, just a farmer who's only interested in keeping the way clear, he'll come along and he'll hack those branches off up there instead of letting them come in that lovely arch. Look at that, wouldn't that be great? We need to keep this fairly clear though, because we've got trucks coming in here. Basha, are you crazy? Get down.
Come on, come on. We're almost home. One more walk. We're okay now. You're a big boy.
Oops. Cock and leg on a grass stem. Yeah, so my arch could easily be cultivated, I'm sure. I'm sure if the ends of those branches on the right there were dug into the ground and perhaps secured with a stake, it would happen. I have to work on that. And this is all the planting and work of Julio. I think that's corn. Yes, I would say. All this is done with a carabao and a hand plough. And I've had to go with that. It's not for city folk, believe me. Here's our rocky road again. not even easy to walk on this. Except if you're a Filipino. Look at her. When we first came here, she's sitting down with the dog again. When we first came here, we didn't have, we just reached the end of the money that we had. My pension had been stopped. This is an old story. It's only for people who haven't heard it before, obviously. And we used to walk. Well, this wasn't a road, it was just a path. It was a path that was big enough for a carabao and a sled, bamboo sled.
I think I got arthritis, Han.
You've got a what, hon?
Arthritis.
Arthritis? I don't think so.
We're having a neck. We tried to walk as much as possible, twice a week.
Yes,
Yeah.
as much as possible is not just twice a week, honey. But if you go swimming, that will make up for that will take up the slack.
Yeah, we will try to have us walk twice a week.
Yeah, but it's nice for the dogs. The dogs really love having the walk. So anyway, we used to walk. If it was raining, you can imagine that all of this was mud. And Beth would take her shoes off, do this walk in her bare feet. So she would walk the 2 miles in the mud, and then down on the particular way that we used to go, which was by the Foursquare Church, the first Foursquare Church that the family used to belong to, before Timio decided to open his church. And there was a well down there, so Beth would just go over to the well, pull up some water, wash her feet, put her shoes on, and we'd go and get a tricycle into town. Those were the days. I was a lot fitter in those days, I can tell you. So this is what this obviously here is Julio's house, and Julio's house is on the edge of the rice fields, and up there is Rado's house, and here are all of the rice fields, and they're tiered just like in the famous Chinese rice terraces. It's all terraced, and every terrace leads off onto the next terrace. As you can see there, it's going up from here and right going up in through the hills, which I've showed you when I used to sit up there. That house that you can see there is Lena's house, and I used to sit up there sometimes and do like a sunset chat, meandering if you wish, and you could see all of this. Air is very clear here, so that radio goes far and wide. But once the terraces get down, they get down to here and they drop. And they drop right into the creek. So they drain off into the creek. So this obviously, there's been some trees fallen across, and this will start to form a block for the water. But the water has never ever gone over this bridge, so we raised it enough, and we overbuilt this bridge, believe me. And now we're going up, and this is the tunnel. Well, we call it the tunnel because at one time it used to be like this. I mean, I'm holding this now at the level of my head. There we are. If you look around there, so the wall of the tunnel is 5 foot. Used to be similar to that, almost like that on the other side as well. So this, what you can see here on this pathway that was the path. And one of the reasons that we built the house in metal stud was not because I was passionate about metal stud, but I was passionate about being able to build the house on my own. Beth is not someone that you want to have on a building site if you value your life. She just seems to be best when she is sitting at a desk working with numbers. So I built a house myself, but all of the materials were brought up this path, because even though the path was different, was only narrow, the inclines are still the same. You are an island girl, Beth. So this is really the start. When it turns, this is the truck of James and Jessica and their work in progress house, and behind their work in progress house is the house that they're living in now. They're living native style now, and if you look up here, that's Little Red. Little Red is the much punished version of the multicab. No matter what we do to that truck, it just seems that in some form or another it continues to work. We spend more money on it, keeps going. Had an extra leaf spring put in the back there, and the shackles on the springs extended a little, so it's a little bit higher. We've had so much stuff on that poor truck. Someone said you've done your best to kill that truck, and it's still going. Borgie, so how was the walk? Come on, how was the walk? Was it good? Did you have a good time? Was it good? Yes, yes, yes. As soon as you start to pet one of the dogs, Tiger comes up and wants some as well. Come on, babies. So the kids are still at the pool. No surprise. That's the guest house there. That's where we're camping out at the moment. It's good for a few days, but we've been there for 4 to 5 months, and it's not so good for 4 to 5 months. Now, we used to get a lot of drain off here into this covered in area for Nanai. We built a new house for Nanai, and when we're leveling out here, we're in the middle of making this happen. We need some more blocks, and that will hold back the water. There's the deck, and that's our little house up there that we've been working so hard on, the red house. It's a house that looks best on the inside, isn't that, baby? Isn't that right? Yes? Is that right? Okay, well, thank you for being with us. It's a long walk. There's Nanai coming now. She's coming to chat with Beth. They're very close, Beth and her mom. Good pals. And Nanai is the foundation of our family. how could we do without Nana? Okay, sunset. Sun's really gone down, or very, very close. And we'll have maybe half an hour, 45 minutes of light, and then it will go dark very, very quickly. This is a foreigner in the Philippines. Bye for now. And that's Lorraine.